Good morning, everyone. It's early in the morning on Sunday. I'm going to film this and stick it up on YouTube before the day really gets started. Sorry, my asthma's acting up this morning. But don't worry, I took my inhaler. So, I know I haven't updated you on the garden a lot in the last few weeks. I will tell you, it has been a rough season for the garden. I mean, there have been some successes and a lot of like weird things that have happened. And so that's why I was just like, I don't know, almost like, I don't know. I didn't feel like updating you with all this weird stuff that was going on. So I'll show you what has been happening. But I thought we'd start here, which is a highlight. My potted plants generally around the yard are going nuts. They're so happy. And you can see I stuck these Dollar Tree lights in, so at night it lights up. That has been great. These are those begonias that I get every year. Again, they have been hugely successful. I highly recommend getting these. You just need this is just one plant. Maybe this is two. This is two, but over there you can see that's one. So you just need one plant to really have it be full and beautiful. This is another one, I think. No, yeah, see, this is from this plant. I mean, it's huge. So that has been great. The wave petunias, you saw me cut them back on some of my other videos. I don't think I'll do wave petunias again. I got them this year. I've done them before, but I haven't done as many as I did this year. And I did them because it was at the time that the world was just opening up and I didn't want to spend a lot of time in the garden center. So it was easy to just grab them off the shelves. I don't think I'll do that again because these I did cut back and they're starting to fill in. They just kind of, I don't know. They just don't look great, right? I mean, these are fine. This needs to be cut back. I haven't cut them all back, but they just kind of start to look scraggly, even though they're wave petunias and they're supposed to be a little fuller, and some of them look better than others, but overall, I haven't been super impressed with them. So I might get some to fill in. Like these look a little better here. They also have taken some hail damage. That's been one thing that's been going on with my pots. So I don't think I'll do wave petunias again. What I will get again, so I pulled something out of here. I pulled a begonia out of here and moved it to a different pot because it was crowded and it has really flourished. That's what went over there. And I just put these dusty millers in, so they haven't had a chance to fill in yet. This I really need to cut back. This will do great if I just cut these dead things off. It needs to be deadheaded, so it kind of requires some management. Haven't done that in like a week or so. These got blown over by the storm the other night. They're okay. This needs some care as well. And then my dahlias, I don't know why they never bloomed again, which is weird. And they keep getting brown and almost like this mildew. See the powdery kind of looking mildew? So I don't know what's going on with those. This is doing pretty well. I haven't deadheaded it recently. This geranium's doing great. And see, these wave petunias look better. But what I will get instead, they're not open right now because it's morning. I love this plant. I can't remember what you guys told me this is called. Next year, this is just one plant. So next year, I'm going to get a geranium and then I'm going to get one of these and one for the other side. Maybe a white one and a red one or something. Or maybe just two red ones. I don't know. And that's it. That's what I'm going to do in here. And I'm not even going to worry about like doing wave petunias or anything. This is Bacopa and it's kind of gotten crowded out. It died, some of it died off. I had to cut this back a lot. It's actually come in a lot from what it was doing. These I cut back. They're looking better. But yeah, but overall, just not thrilled with the wave petunias. Like this just looks crummy. I don't know. I might put something else in there for the end of the summer. I think they're fine as fillers, but as a standalone, they're not great because by August they look crummy. So you kind of want something that's going to look good the whole season, like these begonias. So that's the front porch. I just got some irises from a neighbor. Haven't had a chance to plant them yet because we've had rain. Today's like one of the first sunny days. I think yesterday was sunny too, but look at, we've got mushrooms growing. This, I lost this plant. I don't know why. It's a heuchera and it died. And I don't really know what happened with it. So that was a failure. My little hostas finally came back. You remember the deer devoured that down to just nubs, like it was just nubs. And so that has come back. And this one came back. The same thing happened here. Oops. We've got a weed. So that's come back too. So that's good. I have a lot of weeding I need to do today. I will be moving this. That is my gold hosta. It's just getting too much sun. I thought it would be fine because these are hostas too, and they're doing fine. I mean, this is June hosta and it's doing fine in the sun, but for whatever reason, they're more sensitive than I was expecting. So that will be moving. And I think I'm going to move my blue hydrangea to the back because you can see it's just getting too much sun and the flowers are looking more white than anything, and they're supposed to be blue. So I think I'm gonna move that to the back. I think I even said that. I just haven't had time. Work has been really busy. I just have not had the time to devote to gardening. Haven't had it this year. This side is doing fine. This did finally come back. Kept those baskets over them. That was a great idea. This hydrangea is doing well. Weeds, thistle, wow. Need to pull those thistles out. But overall, those are doing well. So here's the hostas. And they were looking great. And then a hailstorm came in. And so they got really messed up. But you can see a lot of new growth on them. So these are the ones that I bought at the yard sale and then transplanted. And I cut most of the old leaves back. Over here I did even more chopping. And so they were looking great until the hail. There also might be some bug damage. I'm not really sure. This looks like something ate it. So that's what I mean. There's just been like multiple problems in the garden this year, more so than in normal years. I don't want to say normal, but in other years. Okay. This looks horrible, but I don't know. These are those sick tomato plants that I moved out of the garden. This one came back and it's gonna produce some tomatoes. This one died. I don't know what was wrong with them, but they definitely had some sort of disease. You can see I was pulling pieces of some of the wave petunias from the deck and just tossing them in the yard because my daughter's gonna mow and they'll just get chopped up. So, all right, the veggie garden. The veggie garden has been kind of one letdown after a next. So I lost my zucchini plant. You remember it was sick and then it started to come back and then a storm came in and ripped it out of its soil, and then that was it. So I lost it eventually to whatever problem it was having plus the storm. And then I have been getting some cucumbers. The rhubarb is doing fine. This is all storm damage. See, my leaves are all ripped up from the hail. And I had a cucumber. Oh yeah, there's a little baby cucumber right there. My tomatoes, haven't really gotten any tomatoes from this garden. I don't know. I'm gonna really amend the soil next year and hope for a better season. This is a squash plant, the white flowers you see there. And it's supposed to be like, or gourds, but there's not even any growing. And so in Minnesota, it's probably not gonna have enough time to produce anything for real that we would actually use for Halloween, but I thought I would try it, and it's too long of a grow season for us. And then you can see these are starting to get the powdery mildew that always happens in August. So it is what it is. I've kind of given up on the veggie garden. I'm pulling the cucumbers as they come, but it has just not been a great and fruitful year for the veggie garden. You know, some years are like that. What can you do? Okay, my chandelier planter was doing great. And then bugs came in. I don't know if you can see. Look, just bugs came in. This one got really devoured. It must have been Japanese beetles. That's the only thing I could think of that can be like so thorough. So this one they ate thoroughly, and then they ate branches off of the other ones. So the plants are back several weeks. I mean, you can just see where things just got nipped off by bugs. So, I mean, it's still pretty, but now it's missing, you know. And by the time, I mean, they're starting to grow in. I mean, this has happened more than one time. So some pest around loves to eat these impatiens. It is what it is. What can you do? Maybe I should have put wave petunias in there. Maybe one plant per. Maybe that would have done well. Or maybe next year I'll try the little, I don't know what they are. You guys have to tell me. I don't know if they're called the 1,000 bow petunias or if that's something else, but the little ones I showed you up in my window box, maybe I'll try those in here next year. I'll definitely try this again, but not with impatiens because I don't want this happening again. It was real ugly when all of that happened. I mean, and again, it's like one would get eaten and then the others would be fine. And then another, and that would start to fill in again. And then another would get eaten. I mean, you can see, look at all the baby growth here because something ate it off. So that's just been an interesting situation this summer. All right, I did cut the buckthorn back. I need to weed this. This is all onion grass that likes to take over in the summer. This shrub is coming out. This looks awful. This whole garden is getting an overhaul. So I'm going to try moving these. Not moving these. I'm going to leave these because the butterflies love them and they're not here right now, but every day towards evening we get a ton of butterflies on them. So that I'm going to leave. I am going to move the lilies out of here because the bunnies and the deer don't eat them. So those are going to move out. I'm going to space these better so it doesn't look so crowded. And then I'm going to move, this is my salvia, which every time it grows, the bunnies or deer, I'm not sure, eat it. So that needs to move out. And this is bee balm, also same thing. And that's why I put that cover over it. So these two plants are going to get moved into the safety of this garden. And then the lilies will come out. And the asters do get devoured by whatever it was. So those need to stay. But maybe I think I'm just going to put those in there, pull those out and just like leave it and let it have a little more space because this is very crowded. And hopefully by next year I'll have some more garden beds to spread things out. Okay, this is a pot that this was down to the sticks. I mean, it was so bad. These are the wave petunias and I cut them completely back because they were just so dead and awful looking. And look how it's filled in. So that's really what you need to do. That's what I need to do on my other pots of them. I need to get real drastic, I think, because this just looks gorgeous again. So, I mean, it's not big, but it's pretty. Okay, now we're up on the deck. And this one is gorgeous. This is the one that Molly planted. You can see the lantana is going nuts. The creepy Jenny's going crazy. These are portulacas. I've got another begonia in there. She put this silver stuff. I don't know what it's called, but that's been doing really well. And this I just keep snapping off and it keeps coming back. Like when they get really stretched and they stop blooming, I snap them off and it just keeps sending up more shoots. Okay. Here's my fairy garden. Funny story. We had the stuff to plant a fairy garden all summer and Molly kept telling me she was going to do it. And then finally she's like, I'm probably not going to do it. And I was like, okay, I'll just do it. So I literally just planted this. I'm knocking things down. What's funny is the storm came through, nothing happened, but then I come and I'm destroying it with my fingers. But this is my one fairy garden. So you can see I put a little pot here and filled it with blue marbles to look like a little pond. And they've got their boat. And then I've just got some little characters. This we bought at the thrift store. It has a little mouse friend on it. Put a little path around the lake or pond. So that should fill in nicely. And then over here, it's going to be really bright. This needs replacing, but it does fine for now. It's still a good place to sit. So this is my other fairy garden. This is like my little froggy garden. And again, the storm came. This got many inches of rain and didn't get ruined, so that's good. And I kind of wrap this around itself so it will grow into like a wreath form. If you keep on top of it, it'll keep that rounded shape. And then I'm gonna see if I can train this one to go on the house. And these Gabe gave to me years ago to use in a fairy garden, so I like to make a fairy garden with those every year. So we like to come out here and sit. This is a good sitting spot. We had a round table and 4 chairs, and the wind destroyed it in one of the storms that we had. So that is gone now. The cushions are all put away because they get wet. These we just took out yesterday. The rest are over here, and these are just some pillows. Nothing, that's just for storage. I'm probably gonna get rid of that. I just haven't done it yet. So you saw me cut this back. This is my herb garden. It's doing great. It is filling in wonderfully. And yeah, I had told you guys I cut my basil back too much, but it's coming in fine. And everything else is doing really well. These are wave petunias, and the yellow ones for some reason look a lot better than a lot of the other colors. Even these purple ones look good. I don't know, this is just, I did cut these back a lot. They're just looking really good. Here, I had cut these back, and then the storm came and broke a bunch more off. So this is still in recovery mode. I did move the lantana. I'll show this to you again in a few weeks. It will fill in. I'm not worried about it, but it's just been, that has had a rough summer. It got wind damage, got hail damage. So you can see like all of this plant broke off in the wind. So it's all right. Okay, and I'm leaving you on my biggest success story.
Me, her first child. Really wonderful. Turned out great. Absolutely the best.
But this is, I love that girl. This is my garden that I put in this year. The silver mound, the bunnies kept devouring it, and then suddenly they left it alone. And so they've been able to, mound the way that they're supposed to. My shrubs have gotten big, and you can see the reason we wanted this here is that it would provide visual coverage from the front of the house so that you wouldn't see the garbage there, and that's exactly what's happening. I think it just looks great. I'm really pleased with how this garden is turning out. And these wave petunias look fantastic. Isn't that funny that some of them look so great, others look terrible? I don't know what the difference is, but this is how they should look. This was a good batch. I don't know, because I didn't do anything different. Literally, I planted them in the exact same way. So this is my biggest success story this year. It's doing great. Super pleased with it. And thanks for watching. Until my next video, take care.